listen more than you talk, right? That's a big one. If you go home and you Google active listening skills, the ways that you can demonstrate to somebody that you're talking to that you're present for the conversation so they feel like they're heard. Just things like saying, uh-huh, and nodding your head and repeating back to them the last thing that they said, right? Paraphrasing what they said, just saying, so if I understand you correctly, you're telling me that it's really important for me to be present during the interview. Little things like that. You're telling the person that you're interviewing that you value them and you value what they have to say and that what they're saying is important. And that's something that you want to get across. That helps you build rapport.
Like, why are you taking the time to build rapport? What is important about that?
If I don't have rapport with you, you're not going to trust me. And if you don't trust me, you're not going to tell me anything, right? I mean, if I just met you and I asked you to tell me something really personal that's going on in your house, there's no way you're telling me that. But maybe if we sit down for a while and we talk about the Red Sox and I find out, hey, you were in the military, I was in the military, and then I tell you, hey, we're having an issue at my house with, somebody, one of my daughters had a boyfriend and we just had a lot of drama at the house and, there was a bad breakup. I'm dealing with that. So I've told you something personal about me. Now you might tell me something personal about you. And we just keep building on that. Who wants to admit to that? Nobody wants to admit to that. But if I say to you, Sharif, I know you've had some trouble with guns. And I know you're not a violent guy and you didn't mean to scare that bank teller. You would never do that because people say good things about you, Sharif, but you've just got problems with drugs. And I'm thinking you probably robbed that bank just so you could get some drug money and because your kids need diapers and food. Yeah, Jim, that's why I did it. I just gave you a reason to be able to confess to me about some really rotten thing that you did. That's how you get people across the bridge. It does not happen in 10 minutes like it does on TV. It's hours in the interview room of building up to that point. And it's an effective way to do it. You got to give people a way to save face. People don't want to admit that they're just rotten and mean. And some people are, but most aren't.
Thanks for listening to Courtroom Stories and Tactics by RVA Trial Lawyers. Hosted by Sharif Gray and Niall Abusaki. Please subscribe and leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or any major podcast platform. Together, we're building a tribe of trial lawyers to remind the world what human life is truly worth, one verdict at a time.